Hey guys, it's your buddy, your pal is the IT Collector, and today going to be doing another comparison video, and this time it's going to be the Y-Wing, and it's going to be a comparison video regarding the Micro Galaxy Squadron version versus the Action Fleet version. Right off the bat, you can tell they look a little bit different, but similar. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to break this down and take a look. If you're not familiar with actually the Action Fleet line, this line is out there. You can find it on a lot of third-party websites like eBay or aftermarket type stuff like that. They're still out there. They're easy to get. Of course, some are more rare, so you might pay a little bit more, but they are a reasonable price, probably about 20 to 30 bucks each figure, maybe less depending on the figure or the ship or vehicle. This came out in, I think it was made by Galoob, and it came out in the late 90s, probably around 1998, around there. And then episode one came out in 1999, and they started releasing a lot of the episode one ships. Right off the bat, the big difference between these two is back then there was only episode one and the original trilogy. Nowadays you have all the movies that came out since then, and then not just the movies, but you have ships and vehicles from all the shows: Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Bad Batch, the animated stuff, Clone Wars, all that good stuff. So there's a ton of ships and vehicles that you can collect with this new line. This line came out, I believe, about 5 years ago, maybe a little less. So they're still pumping them out. You get, like I mentioned, a lot of ships and vehicles from the original trilogy, along with a lot from the shows. So this one's fun to collect, and we're gonna break down the difference between the two. And just the main thing, if you're not familiar with either of these lines, what makes the appeal of these is the size. Because if you do have ships and vehicles from the action figures, whether it's the Black Series, so those are huge if you're going to get the vehicles, but if it's the 3.75 figures, of course those are smaller, but it's hard to display them. Here you can fill your display case up with 100 vehicles and they'll fit. It'll look tight, but they'll fit. But that's what's pretty cool. So without further ado, let's open this guy up and let's start comparing. Let's see the details, the paint job, and size wise, and let's take a look. So one of the things about this Micro Galaxy Squadron is each one comes with this little collector's blueprint, they call it. I don't know if anyone actually collects it, but you can cut that out and collect it. Maybe kids do, but they also show the other ones in the line. I have a review already on those two if you haven't seen them. And it just shows you what parts are movable or open up. So here it is out of the box. These two parts were separate. So you just pull it out and put them in here, the slots. I don't want to put it in all the way, but here you are. You could see the side view and the back view. So you can see, I'm going to show you the difference right now, but you can see they added like this texture, weathered look of the panels and gears and engine. You could see it also in the exhaust right here. So they actually did put some detail into this. Underneath is kind of the same type of detail. I have the light shining on there, so it's a little reflective, but it's not so bad. Let me pull out the landing gear. So if you could see, it's on both sides. And then this one here. And there we go. It snapped into place. And there you go. It's a little higher now. And it is now open. The other part that moves is the turret here. And then let me see how to open this up. Oh, okay. The whole thing opens up to the side. And you can see that the cockpit isn't too much detail. It's pretty plain Jane, but that is how it looks there. You could see here is where an astromech will be going. Now, whoops, well, that came out. Now let's take a comparison of the Action Fleet. So this is Action Fleet. Right off the bat, I don't know if there's different versions of the Micro Galaxy Squadron, but here we have yellow versus red. If you look at the engine compartment here, this is a plastic or glass looking. It's plastic, of course. And you can see that the gears, the engine, and all that aren't as weathered. Let's see here. Aren't as weathered. I'll show you a better view of that in a second. But let's continue looking here. You can see it comes with an in-place R2 unit. Not too much detail on that guy there, but there you go. He does not pop out. He can't do anything like that. There's no button or anything like that for him to do that. The way you open the hatch is from top to the back, or forward to the back. There is your Rebel pilot. You can see the detail is okay for the size of it. It's about 1 inch. You could tell the classic helmet, Rebel helmet, with the insignia. Sorry, right there. Trying to get that in focus. There you go. They actually did spend the time and put that on there, so that's pretty cool. The inside itself, not much detail at all, but he does go in there. You can see the size of the gun is a lot smaller than the other one, and then the two turrets here. You can see it does have this weathered paint job there on both engines. The back is covered. Trying to see if there's any other difference. You can see that here the landing gear is in the middle, and here and here. So it is a little bit different compared to Micro Galaxy Squadron. So I'll put that right there for now, and we'll put this back in. Where was this? Here. Oops, backwards. Here. Okay, it doesn't seem to snap in place, and I really don't want to break it. So one thing I noticed that's pretty darn cool is missiles. They actually added missiles in here. I like that a lot. That is some nice detail. Makes me look at the Y-wing a little bit differently. You can see the turrets are a lot longer, and the gun. And I mentioned the engines are closed off on the action fleet, but look at this one right here. You can see it's a little see-through. Like I said, there's no glass, and then you can see they added like a flame effect in there. There you go. So that is pretty cool. Now let's take a look size-wise. We're going to put it head to head, and we are going to get an above view here. So there you can tell that the the Micro Galaxy Squadron is bigger. So let's actually put the engines together. They're almost exactly the same size, but you can see that the Galaxy Squadron is a bigger ship, has a bigger head, if you will, or cockpit. Let me place that on top. And there you go. That's, oops, it just fell back. But that is how much bigger it is. So that's a pretty interesting comparison view. And there you go. So here's a view from above, but from the back, I just need a better angle. There you go. So you can see clearly the paint jobs are different. This one really isn't that bad at all, but this Micro Galaxy Squadron does look like it has a little bit more detail. Let's flip that over. And there you are. That's pretty cool. I really like those missiles there. And then I mentioned that it has the figures. There is one of the pilots. You can see Rebel pilots. You can see the helmet. And this one has the R2-BHD. So that's Jon Vander. I don't know any significance on him, if that's a character from the movie or anything, but they're really pretty much about the same height or size as Action Fleet. You can see here they are different. So Action Fleet is a little bit bigger, but it's, I mean, we're talking, if it's 1 inch, then that one's just a little under an inch in size. So that's the comparison of that. And like I said, the R2 unit is not movable. You can't take it out. There you go. So there you have it. There is an in-depth review on the Y-Wing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative and you can see the difference between the two, and you can decide which line you want to collect if you haven't already started. Uh, Unlike me, I just keep collecting both. So I don't think I'm ever going to sell the Action Fleet one, but I'm going to definitely keep continuing to buy the Micro Galaxy Squadron one. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, make sure you subscribe and like this video because there's a lot more Star Wars content, not just Micro Galaxy Squadron, but a lot of props and other figures and ships and vehicles. Not only that, but a lot of Marvel and DC, Ninja Turtles, 90s stuff like Terminator, Predator, Ghostbusters, all that good stuff. So make sure you subscribe and check all that out. And as always, stay collecting, my friends.